I snuck into the wrong Disney Expo. No idea where I am. Happy New Year, and I hope everyone had a wonderful New Year's Eve. We're starting off the year strong by continuing some of the habits that I started early so that I can keep the promises I've made to myself. One of those being to keep pushing through my run training so that I can have a great run for the Run Disney Princess Half Marathon. I'm only doing the half marathon, I'm not doing a full challenge or anything, but I have never run that distance before, so I'm quite nervous. I want to run fast enough that I have time to meet at least one or two characters, because those lines can get kind of long. And I know for sure that I don't run fast enough and confidently enough to allow like 10 to 15 minutes to meet a character. Last time I ran a 5K, they did have characters at the end of the race. After you crossed the finish line, they gave you some goodies, and then there was like Duffy and some rare characters. But it's so cool getting to meet some throughout the trail, because while you're running, you also see some characters that aren't always out in the parks either, or they could be in different costumes. I don't know who comes out for Princess. I've never run the Princess race before, but it's been a dream of mine. And I've been so terrified of running longer distance. Like, it sounds silly, but actually terrified that I won't make it or that I won't run fast enough. I'm scared of getting caught up by the balloon ladies. The balloon ladies are like the pacers for Run Disney races, and I know that they run at the very end of the last corral or something like that. So everyone I talk to says, oh no, don't worry about it. There's no way you'll be caught. But like, I don't know. They also have no idea how bad I am at running. So today's just a quick half-hour speed run. So I'm starting off with something light. My friend gave me this to try out. It tastes like Oreo cookies. I like it. And a little electrolyte water. You don't want to have too much right before your run. I'm going to try to give myself at least like 20 to 30 minutes after this before I start running. But this week also happens to be the coldest week we've had in this winter. Why is it so hard to do anything when the temperatures are so low? So low as in like 40 for those of you who live in colder climates. But I live in the South and I'm weak, so... Okay, I'm going to finish this so that we can get started. Oh my god. Oh, we have survived the run. I really need to get better about actually bringing you all with me to the run. I have about 8 weeks to go, but I'm still pretty nervous because most of my trainings are about maybe half an hour, with the exception of the weekly long runs. And I've only done one like longer distance run. I'm using the Nike Run app, and I trust the coaches. But I'm not really sure if it's improving my endurance. It's improving my energy, that's for sure. And like at the start of all of this a few months ago, I wasn't even confident that I could run 4 to 5 miles easily, so that's an improvement. But I need to run 13 miles. 13! I don't know how this is gonna happen. But anyways, we have to fuel up, as in get breakfast, because the last time I waited to do breakfast, I got a massive headache. So it's so weird how you have to now like calculate hydration and eating and stuff. And I feel like I'm faking being an athlete right now because I am not an athlete. Not at all. This reminds me of like when I was a freshman in high school and I was just starting track and field. All the juniors and seniors and the varsity members, they have their routines down, they know what they're doing, and they're already pretty decent at the sport. And then here I am waddling in, not at all built like an athlete too. So talking about like fueling and training plans and who am I? Anyways, I just want to look cute and run a cute little race and get my cute little medal. Welcome to the first week of the new year. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's. And I'm sure with the new year, there's lots of New Year's resolutions, new habits, new lives that you're trying to incorporate into 2026. But big changes and big ambitions always takes up so much energy. Like for me, this new content creation thing is actually taking a little bit more time than I realized. The filming part is easy, just prop the camera up and you just talk. But the editing, oh my gosh, the editing takes a good chunk of my day. But also because I'm brand new and I'm learning how to use the software. On top of that, I'm trying to learn how to run and become a better runner, which means I have to learn how to hydrate and fuel well. Every time I'm talking about this, I feel so fake because I'm not an athlete. And I'm also still trying to figure out the best way to train. I have 8 weeks, but 8 weeks are very quick. I also still have a 9 to 5. And including the commute to get there, spending the whole day completely locked in on whatever is happening at work that day, with lots of new projects going on, it's pretty exhausting. And then jumping into that commute back home, I don't mind driving, but sitting in traffic, especially if you live in Orlando, you know, sitting in I-4 is not exactly fun. And then coming home, trying to take care of yourself, like actually making dinner, getting a workout in, keeping the house clean. All those things don't always happen perfectly. At least I myself tend to get hyperfixated on the newest thing that's happening. So right now that's this channel and also my running. And I'm still trying to make time to be social with my friends because I want to see them too. But that means my house turns into a mess. And I always hit a moment of being overwhelmed, overloaded, and then I shut down. Every time I shut down, that's when things start to go downhill and everything else goes downhill with it. So something I've recently started incorporating is every time my energy really starts to dip, I'm gonna let myself have an easy night, but I start simple productive tasks like cleaning dishes, doing the laundry, something to get my life back together, because a clean space also clears my head, kind of resets my mindset and refocus so that I can continue to make space for those new adventures. My kitchen is a hot mess express right now, so I think that's a good start. Let's do that. Good morning. We're at Hollywood Studios because we're gonna start the day with our long run of the week. I'm meeting a friend who has been doing this for quite some time and he would easily run like 20 miles, so yeah, we're not going to be running together, but my training plan says the goal is 10K again today, but I'm going to see if I feel good enough to try to do 7. There's a nice little trail between Hollywood Studios all the way down to the boardwalk, so we're going to make that loop. I'm going to take you along with me. We'll have another fun, scenic run today. Let's go! No idea where I am. I did it. I ran 7 miles.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Epcot International Gateway.
I finished my run and came home. That was a really good run. So I ran starting from the Hollywood Studios parking lot and then all the way down to Boardwalk, do a loop around the Boardwalk Yacht and Beach Resorts, and then I made my way around Swan and Dolphin. So there was a trail map I found online that takes you behind Swan and then back around towards the boardwalk area. And I think I accidentally went the wrong way because I ended up behind Dolphin and then all the way around the other side of the Yacht and Beach Resorts, but like on the main roads. I wasn't too sure where I was going, but it was really nice and quiet and plenty of hills. So if you need a hill workout, I'd recommend the Yacht and Beach area. But guys, I hit 7 miles. It might sound silly reporting 1 extra mile that I'm adding every week, but just that 1 mile feels like a lot to me. You know, I'm running farther than I've ever run. And for a beginner like me who's never run long distance, just being able to add that 1 extra mile feels like a huge accomplishment. I feel like I need to hit 10 miles before I can start to become more confident that I can finish this half marathon. But right now, I've only confirmed that I can make it halfway. Still nervous, but feeling much better about all this. And I went with a friend today. He's a beast though. Like, he runs really fast, and he ran further than me today because he's actually running a full marathon. So we ran separately, but just met up afterwards, checked in. And he was telling me about how he used to be where I am. Obviously, everyone starts somewhere. And to see that within 2 years' time, he's now running incredibly fast and is able to do his second full marathon. That was really encouraging. And honestly, even after I finish training, I think I'm gonna keep pursuing a new training plan just to push my performance. I'm trying to decide between continuing my training for a longer distance, or if I do shorter distance but learning to run faster. I think I want to learn how to run faster. And it's kind of reminded me of that feeling I used to get when I did varsity sports back as a student, where you're really just competing for yourself and you're just going after personal records. You're not doing it for a job. You're not doing it to earn a title. You're doing it to be proud of yourself. I can't believe I let myself forget that feeling. And I'm so thankful this Run Disney event reminded me of how much I needed this and how fun it is to have something that you can push yourself for and find accomplishment in and be proud of outside of work. I feel like a lot of us chase that at work, which is what keeps us going every day. But chasing a new promotion, a job title, a pay increase, those are all great for your career. But when you have nothing outside of your career, life can feel kind of empty. And in the last few years, I really had to learn how to detach my personal value from my 9 to 5. So I'm still part of the job that I do, but I don't think that should be all of me. And I'm so excited that I found that in running. I am so far from calling myself a runner. But like, even seeing other people run around the same track, it was really encouraging because like you meet eyes with them and you give each other that, oh hey, you're doing great look, and I really love that. Now, if anyone out there has any tips on how to run longer distances without ending the run with throbbing toes, that would be great. My toes are dead tired. Like, when you're just starting off with a new strength workout, maybe you're increasing weights or even learning to do like monkey bars as a kid and you get like calluses on your hands, it feels like that on my feet. Anyways, one thing I want to tackle is how to avoid getting headaches too after a run, because I have it again, but I still came home feeling really great. I love today's run. And since I was in the area, I also just popped into Hollywood Studios really quick, because why not? It's right there and I have a pass. But I was really good today. I was going in just to look for a specific item and they didn't have it, but at the store, they almost got me. There are a couple pairs of ears that I've been eyeing for quite some time. And in my brain, I used to think if I have been thinking about this for a while, or I keep coming back to it and I want it every time, then I deserve it. But my new mindset going into the new year is I have to stop and think about whether I would repurchase it if I were to ever lose that item. Like, these ears were really cute. There's one pair that's Tinkerbell themed, and I love Tinkerbell. And an Elsa one, it was so pretty. I love Queen Elsa too. But looking at my current ear selection, I have to remind myself that I don't ever wear them. I'm starting to a little bit, but like, they're also $37 right now. $37 for Mickey ears. Yeah, I gotta get better about my spending, so I held back. I'm so proud. But I might be going back to the park tomorrow to find the items I was looking for. It sounds really silly, but Disney has this kitchen collection and they have these like kitchen gloves, or what do you call them? Those rubber gloves you use to wash dishes and stuff. I have a Mickey one, but then the fingertip melted off. I don't really know what I did to melt the fingertip off. So the water comes in when I'm washing dishes. I'm hoping they still have them. They have a Mickey and Minnie one. So if they have it, I would like to use that because I use it every day. I think it's supposed to rain today, so I'm gonna take it easy, eat food. Good morning. I'm getting ready for a lovely Sunday. I say good morning, but I've already been spending half the day just lounging around and it is almost 1 p.m. I had planned to start this day like 3 hours ago. That's okay. I'm getting ready to go on a little shopping spree, but still keeping in mind some of the New Year's resolutions I've made for 2026. One of those being spending more intentionally and watching my finances. So most of the time when I go shopping, the items on my list are things that I do actually want to use for my daily routines or things that I actually use in the house. I won't die if I don't have them, but it is a bit of an inconvenience. But what I used to do last year was just put them all on the list, go out shopping, and then obviously I'm not spending like, $1,000 blindly, but when one item is like $10, $15, $20, I would just pick them up like they don't add up or something. What I'm doing differently this year is first thinking about whether I want them just because I saw a trend on it or if it's something that would actually elevate me. And then I would look up the prices of these items and compare it to what I have in my budget and calculate out how many of these items can I afford right now. And if I need to, I'll start to scratch off things off my list and put it off for another time. For today, it looks like I can get pretty much everything on my list. So I wanted to get ready real quick, and I'm also still trying to figure out a good makeup look on me because I don't know, I feel like I haven't found a good look or have the skills to do them yet. But anyways, let's get started. How do I look? Also, I wanted to show you this pouch. I got it at City Walk from a blind box. And usually blind boxes are like pins or keychains or something you can't really use. It's not exactly functional. But this is an actual pouch. So it's perfect for my ibuprofen that I always have to carry and my contact lens eye drops. I have dry eye problems. That's coming with me. Look how cute. Okay, let's get ready to head out the door. Hello, I am back from shopping. I did also stop by Epcot because the shop at Epcot tends to be pretty well stocked, and there's something I wanted to buy, so I went hoping that they still have it. Turns out they do not. That's okay. And guess what? I didn't buy anything else. Very proud as a Disney adult. And I think I did good overall today. There were quite a few things that I couldn't find, which helped. And what I used to do in the past is I would buy other things in its place, which doesn't make sense, but also like I went with the mindset that I want to go and spend money, and when I don't, I feel bummed, which is so dumb. Now that I'm going into the new year with a new mindset, honestly, there are a bunch of fun things, of course, as you find with any shopping spree, but I didn't want to actually get any of them that weren't already on my list. And I felt pretty accomplished because I only found things that were exactly on my list and things that I needed. So I want to show you my little haul. I don't know if anybody cares to see a random haul. That's not for fun or anything, but anyways, I'll still show you. So at Bath & Body Works, they were having a post-holiday sale, and I really liked the winter scent for foaming hand soaps. That's all I wanted, so I went looking for that. They didn't have the foaming hand soap, but they did have this cleansing gel hand soap. I don't remember if I've ever tried gel hand soap, but it's the scent that I want. So this was $4, and I've never tried it, but that's the Winter Candy Apple. This is a foaming hand soap. And this was, wait, no. This was $5, this was $4. But then I went to the register and told them my little membership account. Turns out I had some sort of coupon, so both of these together came out to $7 total. Or $6? $6. Crazy. Then I went to Ulta because I needed deodorant, but I want to make a switch from traditional deodorant. I'm trying this one. Supposedly it's like gentle exfoliation in your underarms. Apparently helps with discoloration too, which is helpful. So I'll try it out and see if I like it. I got the saltwater vanilla scent. And then I was looking for a brightening serum. So I got the Ordinary Multi-Antioxidant Radiant Serum. I haven't tried this one yet, but I have a lot of sunspots because I've always lived in very sunny places my entire life. Don't regret it at all, but I do regret taking my youth for granted when I was younger. Wear your sunscreen. I also needed to make a silverware change because years ago I thought it was cool to get one of those black tinted silverware. Turns out the color is like slowly chipping away into what I'm eating potentially. So I went to look for a stainless steel set. Then I learned about a specific quality of stainless steel that you want to look for. I forgot what the measurements referred to. It's like 1810 or 18:8. And I think it was the ratio to nickel. And I was today years old when I learned that you can't just buy stainless steel things at the store and think that it's good quality. Apparently, if you don't get good quality stainless steel utensils or silverware or cookware, those metals can also easily leach into your food. I don't know. I'm not ready to go into a like fully non-toxic lifestyle or anything, but in tiny ways where I can, I think I'll start. So I got these. Very adult of me. And for the same reason, I got myself a new set of pan, just a pan and a little saucer. Honestly, because it's just me. I don't really need a big set or anything. So I just got those two things. And then I think the rest were things I just needed for my day-to-day. Oh yeah, I'm trying this one out. Prequel multi-acid milk peel solution. It comes with a variety of gentle peeling acids. I was looking for something that I guess I needed to go to Sephora for, but I saw that this also had the same set of acids, so I was like, why not? And then I just needed to replenish this guy. I find that this one in the dark blue and the yellow one are the only ones that don't burn my mouth when I'm using mouthwash. I don't know, maybe I'm a child, but like, I feel like some mouthwashes really burn. Okay, so this week is all about figuring out a good balance between some of the new habits I'm trying to incorporate into my daily life and still staying on track with my existing routine. Because in the past, every time January hits and I start on a New Year's resolution, I do it for like 2 weeks. And because it's so brand new, I hyperfixate on it and then burn out because I can't figure out a good balance between these new habits and then my normal day-to-day, that it all comes crashing down and then New Year's resolution is dead before the end of January. But I want to change that this year. So I have my planner. I'm only planning like a few weeks out at a time, but I think that's the best cadence for me right now. I think I'm off to a good start already because I did start a little early in December, but I'm keeping my runs going and I'm loving it because I'm learning so much more about myself, my own potential, and how cool it is to feel that accomplishment when you hit a new goal. I'm going to keep that going while still maintaining my 9 to 5 and also remembering a few of the other goals and dreams that I have that I want to get started on this year. So with that, tomorrow is Monday. I do have to go into the office. So I'm just going to go through my nightly routine and get ready for tomorrow and be a normal person. Also totally unrelated, but while I was having dinner, I started playing the live action Little Mermaid, and I'm so thankful that Hallie did this because Hallie's version of Ariel somehow reignited my love and connection to the Little Mermaid. And I feel like Jodie Benson's classic version is going to always be one of my childhood favorites, and her version of Ariel is deeply connected to the inner child in me, while Hallie's version is my reconnection and love for the Little Mermaid franchise as an adult. I'm always nervous for new live actions to come out just because of the attachment I have to the animated original. But I'm so thankful they did this one. I think the Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast live actions have been my favorites. Well, also Aladdin. I rewatched that quite a lot. Naomi Scott kind of breathed new life into Jasmine and I loved it. Okay, now I gotta get ready for bed for real. Just kidding, I need my phone. Okay, good night. Fit check. Alright, off to work. See you later. These two always work the best on me. So I did go on a run and did not film it. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at this, but I did see someone else on a treadmill just a couple rows away from me and I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. And then I also got shy. So anyways, Now that the holidays are over and we're getting back into the swing of things, I'm back in the office again, I'm kind of scared of being able to keep up with some of the goals I set up for myself for 2026 and also keeping up with the running training. But I've already gained so much from the experience and I really don't want to lose it. I have a great momentum going, so I decided to schedule it out, and that involves waking up at 5 or 5:30 or something. I'm gonna test that out this week, and I'm only gonna get busier in the next couple months, so we shall see if it works. But that's the thing, if there's something you want to do and the life you're dreaming of is different from your current one, you can't just sit there living the way you have been. You have to change something if you want life to change, you know? Sorry, my camera's shaky because I am not using a tripod right now, but I think we owe it to ourselves to prove our past selves wrong and find out if we can live up to the potential we, dreamed up for ourselves. And any baby step counts, because every little bit will eventually lead to being leaps and bounds ahead of where you used to be. I sound very preachy. I hate that. But it's only been like a couple weeks and I'm learning so much. And I want to document this because I know that if I do get to the point that I'm envisioning, I want to look back and see just how green I was, how excited I was, and how the smallest things would seem like such a big deal to me. So this is for my future self, but also working through it step by step hopefully means that I'm also healing the inner child in me who had this whole dream life for myself and never believed that I could. So let's pray I can keep up this excitement and momentum going. Oh my, I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.
Prescription delivery and nearby emergency care. If you're continue to stay refreshed with a refreshing clean taste of the proud sponsor of Run Disney, Honey Stinger produces fuel for athletes of all kinds using delicious honey and organic ingredients.
Guess what I did? Don't mind the pile. I snuck into the wrong Disney Expo. Okay, that's a lie. So the Run Disney Expos are open to the public, which means anybody can go. But of course, each expo has merchandise specific to that race. And then there are sponsors and vendors that come and share their merch. Like Honey Stinger is usually there, Shox is there, and a bunch of other like running gear and brands. And since I'm gonna be participating in the Princess Marathons, of course there will be another expo leading up to that weekend. But I didn't know until a couple days ago that I could also go to this one. So this weekend is the Walt Disney World Marathon. And I wasn't interested in getting the merch for the Walt Disney World Marathon because I'm not running it, so I'm not attached to it or anything. But I wanted to check out one of the vendors, specifically Shox. Just in case you don't know, Shox is a pretty popular brand for runners because they have several different models now that are great options for a lot of physical activity. So there's Open Run that goes around your ears and then behind your head. Those are bone conduction headphones, so you can hear everything while you're still listening to your music. And then other people can't hear you. It's like magic. And then this year they came up with a new model. It's called Open Dots, and they hook around your ears rather than going all the way around. And sometimes I do like to run with my glasses, or I might be wearing a hat or something else. So I wasn't a super fan of the Open Run model. And guess what? Of course, they were on sale. A lot of vendors do this, but they'll tell you on the first day of the expo, they're gonna have a special sale just today, because expos are usually 3 days in a row leading up to the marathon weekend. But this one, I've had my eye on for a few months now. Truthfully, I've been looking at it over a year since the last Run Disney race I did. But last year I still had a pair that were working okay. They're more similar to an AirPod, and it did the job, so I didn't buy it last year. This year, I don't know what's going on, but I've had those old earphones for about 3 or 4 years now. But even when I fully charge them, they keep dying within half an hour. One side always die within like 22 to 25 minutes, and my half marathon is gonna be way longer than that. And I'll be real bored if I'm running with no audio. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot happening at the race, but I just didn't want to deal with with that. I have this guided like run coach audio that I like to listen to. So I decided to bite the bullet. I really was just gonna go to try it out and then wait it out and see if I actually want to commit. Well, I saw the sale price and then, it was really great when I tried it on. It was just perfect. So I was like, you know what? This is my treat for actually committing to the race and improving every single week. And this is gonna be my motivator. So I really do have to try to run well. Oh, here she is. So I got the pink model. Let me take it out of the box real quick. Should we do a little ASMR? Ooh. Here she is. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. That's what they look like. And they told me the barrel goes behind your ears and it doesn't matter which side you wear them, which is very cool. You don't have to keep track of which one's left and right. So it looks like this. And they were telling me that the positioning will depend on where it's most comfortable for you. And as you're going through your activity, it'll kind of settle into the perfect spot. And when I was there at the booth, I tried them on and I was like jumping up and down with it. And it stayed really well. And they're super light. It doesn't feel like it pinches at all. Oops, I think I touched the control. You can tap. There's like a pinch function. I still have a lot to figure out, but it's so cute and super light. I'm so excited to try it on my next long run. And then they gave me a sport belt to go with it. They said it was waterproof on the inside, which is very nice. Oh my gosh, literally a running belt. That's nice. It's just one big pocket. But if you just need to bring like ID, small set of keys and these guys, these are perfect. My current running pouch is pretty much like this too. It's just a little wider and a couple extra pockets. So this is a nice alternative to have. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so I definitely feel good about the pricing. And then of course they had stickers. I got Minnie and Mickey. So cute. Okay, I'm gonna go back to finishing dinner. My dinner is... These are the kimbops from Trader Joe's. I don't know if you've ever tried them. Obviously, it's nowhere as good as like authentic kimbap. I hope I'm saying that right. But I love them. It's just so convenient. I still have 2 more days of work to go, so... I did just get back from the gym and I should probably be jumping into the shower, but every time I go on a run, I get this little boost of energy and motivation to get everything done from my to-do list, especially those things that I tend to put off because I'm scared to do it or whatever it is. So I'm expanding on my vision board because I feel like the 2nd to 3rd week of January, I start to see a lot of New Year's resolution type of content trickle off. Is that even the right way to say it? There's a lot of great motivational stories out there the first week of January, and then after that I really don't see too much about it. But I want people to share it, like, how's it going? How are you doing? Like, let me know, I want to know. So anyways, last week I showed my vision board, and to take it a step further, I have chosen my 2026 motto. I don't know if it's a Japan thing or East Asian thing. I'm not really sure actually. But for New Year's, my family didn't really do this growing up. I just know that this practice exists out there. People would choose a word that they live by or use as their motto for the year. So I decided my 2026 motto is be audacious. Because one of my favorite quotes is, if you can't beat fear, do it scared. But that implies you always have to keep fighting fear. And it's like this uphill battle in my head. While I held that phrase close to my heart, it didn't exactly push me to actually take action. But I've seen several content creators out there talk about how they got there and they described themselves as someone that's not special. And they said it was all thanks to having the audacity. And the word audacity comes up a lot in conversation too. Usually my friends use it sarcastically. Like, oh my God, the audacity. Like, how dare they? But I want to use that attitude. And something clicked in me because once I decided that that word was going to drive my year, I was able to all of a sudden think of all the ways I'd be bold and braver and do things that I previously would have held back on just out of fear of judgment, fear of failure, and a lot of things that my own mind was holding myself back from. And honestly, time's ticking. I've got a lot of life ahead of me, but this is also my only shot. I don't have to become the most world famous celebrity or anything crazy. I just want the most fun life for myself. And having done the traditional route of going to school, getting the degrees, going to corporate, It's giving me a lot of really great skills in terms of professionalism, critical thinking skills. But when I started shifting from tying my personal value to my job, I felt like I was all of a sudden looking at the bigger picture. And then I realized it's not that serious. Like, yeah, I have these expensive degrees and it's not fun having to pay back for them, but you know, I did it, it's there, but that shouldn't shackle me to commit the rest of my life to that degree. So it's not complete, but I have my vision board here, and then I started a second page with my motto. And what I have at the top are the rules I'm going to follow when making decisions when it comes to being audacious. So if you want to do the same, I recommend just writing out whatever your motto is going to be for the year, and then adding a few bullets of what that means to you. For example, under be audacious, I have ask and you shall receive. I have to put my desires out there, otherwise the universe won't know. And I also have the worst they can say is no, because it's not that serious. And then I broke that up into very specific areas of my life that I want to focus on, like my dream that I want to chase this year, personal projects I want to work on this year, some goals I have for myself. And then I imagined, what would I do for those areas if I had the audacity? And just those ideas have already started to help me ideate what actions I could take. Like if I wasn't afraid of anything, what would I do? So that's how I'm gonna live this year. Be audacious. But I do not have the audacity to sit in my sweat any longer, so I'm gonna take a shower.